Hi guys, my name is Nonima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the case 375 versus case 636 scandal. The case SEPs buried and the one they chose instead. Okay? Yes, that's what we are on about. In a murder investigation, the truth doesn't start with suspects. It starts with paperwork. Because before a single arrest, before a single confession, before a single court appearance, there is a case number. And in the Senzo Meyiwa murder investigations, there are two, yes, there are two. Case 375 and case 636. One was quietly discarded, the other became the foundation of the prosecution. So today we are not speculating, we are asking questions that SEPS has never answered. Who decided to bury case 375 and why? A case number is not a suggestion. It is not a draft. It's a formal legal record. It captures the first version of events, the earliest witness accounts, the original investigative direction, the initial forensic trail. In criminal law, the first version is sacred. Because once you abandon it, you don't just lose evidence, you lose credibility. So let's be very clear. Case 375 existed. Investigative work was done under it. Statements were taken, decisions were made. Then, without public explanation, the investigation pivoted to case 636. No press briefing, no affidavit, no contemporaneous memo, just silence. And silence in law is never neutral. You can't just keep quiet and not say anything, and then you expect people to believe that was a neutral move. No, it is not. Now, let's question the criteria situation. Here is where SEPS runs into a wall because lawfully policing requires a criteria. So what was it? Did case 375 lack evidence? Then where is the report declaring it defective? Did witnesses collapse? Then where are the credibility assessments? Did new information arise? Then where is the comparative analysis justifying the shift? Because you don't just choose one case over another, not in a murder investigation, not without reasons. You need to explain, and not without leaving a trail. No, you can't. Who authorized this anyway? This decision was not made by a junior officer. Switching an active murder docket requires command approval, provincial oversight, often national sign-off. So the question sharpens. Was this authorized by a station commander, a provincial detective head, or national leadership? And more importantly, was the minister informed? Was the commissioner briefed? If yes, produce records. If no, explain the breach, because either scenario is catastrophic. So these are the things that need answers when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case, not the silence that we are being given by SEPS, because it's unfair. The danger of selective investigation. Selective investigation is not incompetence. It is misconduct. When police abandon one version of events and elevate another without explanation, they are not searching for the truth. They are curating a narrative. And curated narratives collapse in court because the defense lawyers do not chase conclusions. They chase processes. And process is where this case is bleeding out. And it will suffer consequences. There are consequences. By sidelining case 375, SEPS may have lost uncontaminated early statements, destroyed the chain of custody, allowed evidence to degrade, rewritten timelines years later, which means the case now before court is not the original truth. It is a reconstruction, and reconstructions are fragile. We have seen that We have seen that in the November. In fact, we have seen through the entire 2 years they've been busy with the Senzo Meyiwa case in the courtroom of Judge Rata. The law does not forgive this. South African law is merciless on this point. Courts demand rational decision-making, procedural fairness, documented reasoning. When investigators cannot explain why a path was chosen, the benefit of the doubt must go to the accused, not because the accused are innocent, but because the state failed its duty. They failed its duty, and whose fault is that? Their own. So today, South Africa is not asking for miracles. We are asking for minutes. Minutes from the meetings, memos from the commanders, notes explaining a choice that changed everything, until SAPS explains why case 375 was discarded, and who authorized it and what informed the decision. The prosecution carries a permanent stain because justice does not begin with arrest. It begins with honesty, and this case was dishonest from the start. The case was dishonesty from the start. They did not lose the truth. They chose not to follow it. That is exactly what happened when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa handling. Senzo Meyiwa matter handling, yes, they choose not to follow the truth. So the police must account to the public for how and why 375 was disregarded in favor of case 636. This is not a clerical issue. It is a decision-making crisis at the heart of the investigation, and the questions are simple and devastating. What was the selection criteria? They need to give that to South Africans. On what objective, lawful criteria was case 636 elevated above 375? Was it chronology? Was it evidentiary strength? Was it witness availability? Was it instruction from superiors? If no formal criteria existed, then the selection was arbitrary and therefore irrational in law, because no one is coming back with answers of what happened, how it happened, who did what, etc., etc. We are sitting here waiting to hear and understand what is happening. The choice could not have happened accidentally. Someone made a decision. Which officer or command structure authorized the abandonment of case 375? That is what we want to know as South Africans. Was it done at a station level, provincial level, or national level? Was it a decision? Was it the decision documented? If there is no paper trail, then the decision was procedurally unlawful. Anyway, guys, on your side, wherever you are sitting, wherever you'll be watching the video, let's have a conversation. Tell me, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? I want to hear your views. Comment section, please. Let's discuss. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.